Okay.
All right, we're recording.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yay.
There we go.
All right. Welcome back to Elrya, where we brightness. Where we figure out what the fuck the guys are gonna do next because they don't know. Well, you got a better idea last time. Last time you searched around the city for some information about cultists. I lore dumped on Erich and Toby, and small man. What's your name? Kurze.
I can't believe you.
Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I can't believe the V bias is so clear.
Kurze.
That was good.
I legitimately forgot your name.
Oh, I knew that was real. I knew that was real. And that's why it made me. That's why it brought me so much joy.
Kurze went and scoped out the Temple of the Moon for Saluna, got some cool staff powers. Vols and Carter scoped out the tavern, got really fucking wasted. And then we ended the session with Carter standing on a table and yelling, "Who's got the scariest story from the Emerald Coast?"
So have you prepared scary stories?
I guess we'll find out, won't we? So,
The answer is still no.
So, I'm gonna presume that all of you have gathered again at this point. I know that Kurze went upstairs to, I don't know, collect his thoughts, I think he said. The rest of you, I assume, are downstairs with Vols and Carter. I guess, Seraphine, would you have gone with Kurze to his room, or would you have stayed downstairs? I don't know if you like follow him into the bathroom and stuff like that.
Well, you see, I saw people drinking. I have to follow suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you yelled at, and I think the introduction to that comment too was, "I've been telling stories all night long. So who here has got the scariest story on the Emerald Coast?" Actually, let me switch to tavern music for now.
Tavern music, yippee!
Oh, that's towns, not taverns. Sorry, hold on.
I was gonna say this feels a little tame for tavern.
Like, wow, what a pleasant.
Very
tavern.
This must be one of them fancy ones.
Why, hello, welcome to the tavern.
It's Leviosa.
There you go. Skyrim taverns. Hashtag Skyrim.
Skyrim, please.
So they all, everybody. Carter yells it out into the room amongst people talking, and it's kind of a moment of like people just look up at him and kind of just look back down at their tables, keep talking. Drunk guy on the table yelling shit, and then a couple of people, you look around and Carter stands there for a minute because you're so drunk at this point that time is working a little wonky, and so it's kind of slow anyways. So your perception of how long it takes people to respond is inhibited, and you're kind of standing there with your mug open, your mouth your jaw just kind of hanging out, as you're waiting for people to respond, and maybe wobbling a little back and forth. Seraphine, chugs a glass in 30 seconds and slams her cup onto the table, making you nearly fall down. People start chatting amongst themselves. Maybe a couple people pick up on it, and after probably about an uncomfortably long 45 seconds, of Vols is too wasted at this point to really comprehend what's going on, and Lorn doesn't want to say anything. These are all accurate statements. And everybody's kind of sitting there in silence waiting. He's like, okay, is this like everybody's gonna be done here? And somebody speaks up and he goes, I've got a scary story. And most of the people just keep continuing their conversations. The people quiet down, and he gets up on a table. What he does is he pulls his chair from the ground and he puts his chair on the table and then sits in his chair, like a true gentleman. And of course, he has a glass of ale in his hand.
I will step off the table mostly on purpose.
Mostly on purpose, yeah. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh, I have to get my dice out.
I prepare to catch him.
With disadvantage?
Isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, well, you're wasted
You
out
have
of
to
your
act out of
mind.
turns.
That's 2 opportunities for less than 5.
Nice.
Oh, neither of them are, though.
Mm.
Wowee.
And Seraphine, go ahead and make an athletics check for me. Just curious, see what happens.
Yo, let's go.
15.
$22.
22. Yeah. Just seeing if you would roll low, so that Carter would roll high as acrobatics and land, and then Seraphine would roll low and try and catch him and accidentally push him over. But no, it worked fine. You step off elegantly.
Just casually just shoves him off the table instead.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was trying to see. So, hold on, actually. Yes. Cool. One sailor speaks up. He goes, I've got a scary story. Gets on his chair. And he starts talking. He goes, one time, I was sailing in the deep of the the Iliac Sea. I was going to Ventus on a long trade journey from here in Amaroth. And I was sailing past the islands northwest of New Shore. And we had to take a pit stop. It's one of those, the one with the mountain on it. And I'll go to the world map for this, I guess.
Hey, I'm already going there. At least I should be.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's at 98% for me. So, 98% is the maximum. And we stopped for the night. And my sailors got well and drunk, as of course we all should on a nice pit stop. And it was sometime in the late hours, so I don't know, 1 a.m. or something around there. And we heard a long wailing cry from out in the open sea. And we've, heard some scary things before, but this, it sounded sad, which was scary for some reason. And the really, truly scary thing was after a few moments passed, up high in the mountain, we heard another cry, a raspy, high-pitched cry that matched it. It was like calling back to each other. And in that moment, we knew we were trapped between two enormous monsters. And we had nothing to do but sit there and wait. None of my men slept that night. We stayed up all night, drinking, getting as wasted as we could, so that if we died, we would die doing what we loved. And the morning came, and the sun rose, and we all sat there on our ship with the hands on the railings, white-knuckling, waiting, and we watched the sun rise, and every inch that came closer, our hearts beat faster, and as the sun rose the next day, we breathed a breath of relief. And never have I stopped on that island before. After that. Yeah. That's... He takes his chair off, sits back down.
Cheers!
Cheers, everybody in the tavern raises a glass. Even
those
people
guys
who aren't
over-
listening, they hear
I
the
was
word
gonna
cheers.
say.
Yeah, everybody.
Like, oh, they weren't even paying attention over there.
No.
They're still saying cheers. They just need a reason.
Exactly.
Incredible. Well, what did you think of that story, Carter?
Anticlimactic.
Oh. Oh.
Eh, tough crowd.
Alright, what else we got?
Say we need scarier.
I haven't
stories
soiled my
in
pants
order
in
to
fear
go.
yet.
Uh-oh.
And a couple mummers.
I've soiled my pants, but not for fear.
some people mimic those statements, tough crowd.
Oh, man.
And another guy, let's see. Nope. Somebody else speaks up, and he goes, and he just kind of stands up. He doesn't do anything fancy with his chair, and he
Feeling it.
goes,
Already uninterested.
"Yep, right." One time, I was traveling to a certain island, and I was a new sailor, and I was in training on the ship, and you know how the passageway is between the central continent and the southern continent and the ancient continent. It can get dicey at times, and I was steering the boat, and the captain was watching me over my shoulder. And I was doing a pretty good job. There had just been an avalanche, and so there were extra rocks in the sea, but I was doing all right. And then suddenly, the nearby volcano exploded. The lava spewed into the air, and I swerved. I couldn't control myself, and my hands shook, and I steered to the left, and it felt like lava was raining down from the sky, and I was worried that rocks were gonna hit us. And I just closed my eyes, and I was steering, and I nearly steered the ship into the side of the mountain until the captain took over, and he steered us back. And I did look over, and the volcano was really far away, I guess, and there wasn't really any lava nearby. But it was really scary for me. And he sits back down.
Boo.
Cheers.
He may have rolled a natural one on that one. So,
I've hallucinated that kind of thing.
Hallucinating.
Cheers to that.
Went closer. Yeah.
Oh, incredible.
And let's see here. That's much better.
Fucking drunk.
An old man.
By the way, I'm writing these stories in our party notes in the sense of how Vols would be thinking about how he's hearing them while he's
Nice.
drunk.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
I wrote
But the last
something about a voice in the Erich Sea, another about some exploding volcano.
Oh,
I like the idea.
floating
I was
volcano.
sailing through the lava of the volcano, and suddenly the ocean erupted.
I like that.
I like to imagine just in canon we have like a party ledger of stuff where we like write down things to remember them,
Yeah.
and it's just like, what
Just
the
passing
fuck
it
is
around.
this? Yeah.
And yeah, both pulled it out of the bag, and he was drunk just because he was bored. an old man's kind of. He doesn't quite stand up. He kind of starts slamming his staff on the table, and he just kind of scooches his chair a little bit more to the center of the room, and he goes, you young ones, you can get scared over anything. It's pathetic. And there are all the old men in the room cheer to that, and he goes.
I guess I also have to cheer through that because I'm also fucking old, technically.
That's true. Yep.
I did the cheer in real life, and I would also do it there.
Right. Yeah. And he goes, I'll tell you about something that's truly scary. I don't know if y'all heard recently about the pirates, the supposed ghost ship on the way to the Rest Haven outpost. But what you don't understand is what it's like to encounter a real ghost ship. Oh, I was sailing through the Iliac Bay in my younger days, and the only reason I get some credibility to those old rumors about the pirates, the ghost ship, is that back in my day, a crooked alchemist used that shack for his wicked experiments. And every few years, a ship would go missing. And it would show back up later. And there would only be 1 or 2 men left on the deck. And they would be passed out, and they wouldn't remember what happened, but their whole crew would be gone. And after a few years of this going on, and people not knowing why, ghost ships started showing up in the ports of the Iliac Bay, across every shore of this continent. To the southern continent where the halflings reside, and to the east where the wood elves have their domain, and the southeast where the dwarves have their ports. No one was safe. In the dead of night, a cold fog would roll over the ocean, and you knew you were in for the fight of your life. You'd hear wails and screams like men on fire. You would hear the crackling of fire and the smell of burnt flesh. And then you would hear the wind in the air, and at first it would be a wet wind, like the fog you would expect, and it would get hot, and it would get dry, and you would feel the ash in your lungs. And you would expect, I don't know why, but when I think ghost ship, I always thought it would be this greenish, ghastly ship that is incorporeal, and you could see the spooky forms of the people aboard. But no, this was nothing like this. It was a black ship on fire. The men aboard burning, screaming in horror, but they weren't running. They were just standing still with their weapons out, with their faces in agony, screaming at you, it felt. And the ship was going faster than any ship should go, right at you, and you knew you would get rammed, and our ship was rammed. Oh, it was rammed hard. A couple of the guys giggle in the corner, and he yells at them, "Oh, you shush! You weren't there." And you were afraid of the fire jumping onto your own ship, and you thought it would be the end, but no, the flames would be hot. They would lick at your skin, and they would leave you with burns, but they would never catch fire to anything else. And the screaming men would slowly saunter onto their ship. They would board, and all you could do is wait for them to get on. You couldn't board their ship. It wasn't a possibility. You would get burned alive. That night, most of the men I'd grown up with had died. But we fought. We fought long and hard. I came away with that night, bald as a bat, as you can see. No eyebrows left. Everything burned off. But me and my 2 brothers, we fought valiantly. We slayed a dozen of those flaming ghost men, And the only thing that kept us going is every time we stabbed them through the heart or we cut their heads off, we saw in their eyes, their pain, it went away. We saw thanks, even as they tried to claw at us and burn us and stab us. We saw how they were relieved, and that gave us the strength to defend our men and to free these poor wretched souls of their misery. And it was us who ended this reign of terror of the ghost ship. And we vowed that night to go back to find that damned alchemist. And we did. We raided his shop and we slayed him where he stood. And ever since then, it was an empty shack. But now rumors of a ghost ship are appearing once again, and I say who we do it. But you never know, maybe he rose again, trying to get his revenge on us pirates, and us the true sailors, for stopping his wretched scheme. So when you're out there, be wary, and keep an ear out for the sound of burning men and the smell of burning flesh. And if you sense it, no, you can't run. It'll catch you wherever you go. All you can do is fight for your life. And he scooches his chair back.
I love this guy.
It was crazy, because, like, halfway through, it's like, oh, man, what if I insight checked it? But, like, he kept going, I'm like, nah, there's no reason. You know what, V is going to raise, just, like, glass of water to that.
Cheers!
Cheers! Yes, and everybody roars and applauds and, bangs on the tables and takes a drink and,
I don't think that was quite the scary tale fully, but man, was that a heroic tale nonetheless.
I mean, burning men is kind of scary. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that out of.
I don't know. I've heard good things about Burning Man.
Not last year.
Oh, that's true.
Or was that Coachella? I can't remember.
Eh.
It's all the same.
Tomato.
Nobody's willing to speak up for that.
Nobody's
Nobody's
gonna follow that.
Nobody's following that up.
Sounds like you've got your scariest story.
Yeah, you sure nailed it. It's an interesting thing to think about.
I mean, you even profused your love for him, so I think that's the one right there. Feeling sober now?
Yeah,
James,
so we need to drink
talking to me.
more.
Yes.
That was a pretty sobering tale, so
Yeah.
let's go drink.
You can surely change that.
And I'll buy my man a drink too.
Yeah.
Yeah, does this man have a name?
Do you ask him his name?
No, just curious if he has one. Don't need to know it. Just
He does have a name.
okay. Good to know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
And you go up
interesting
and
that he
give
has a
him his
name.
drink. And he takes the mug and he does it. That's a good young lad. I knew there were some good ones left. He sips from it. You can have inspiration.
Fellas,
It is a gold for the drink, though.
that's okay. It's worth it. Fellas, we all get an XP point.
Hey.
Oh.
Let's go.
Already gotten 2 because of all the inspiration. Heck yeah.
Happens.
Yeah,
All play equals
this has
experience.
been, yeah, you've been playing this arc, so.
Cost me a gold though, so
Ooh, yeah, good
I don't know if
point.
it's worth that.
Clearly not.
Tough price.
That puts us at 8, right?
Wow,
Most
not
of
even.
us.
I'm at 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I was watching the end of the episode when he got an experience in like 4 years, and it's 3 experience. That's another thing you guys could do before you go on your next quest, is you could get your feet.
Most of
Oh,
us.
that's true.
That's not a
You can
bad
do it after your
idea.
next quest
After
too.
the
I mean,
session.
you can do it whenever you want. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
but do remember that it does require you to initiate that.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is,
Would you say
if it's
too
something
late
that
to
you
do
can narratively explain to me that you've gotten from your experiences you've already had, remember that I might just let you get it. But
I would need to look and see what would be interesting.
Gonna get
Like,
Tavern
maybe when we get
Brawler
back.
because of this?
Oh my gosh. No,
no, that is definitely a way for you if you're like, oh, I know I want the Tavern Brawler feat. Start a tavern fight.
Oh my god.
He's like, oh, your story
Vols?
sucks. Punches the guy.
Just
Yeah,
this
I
old
mean-
dude.
That is exactly the kind of thing that would count for that.
Imagine you.
Yeah. And you don't
punch
have to, like-
somebody died.
You don't have to declare it ahead of time. Like, you don't need to tell me I have. If you're like, I think this could definitely, like, for that, it's so
in the
like
name.
on page. Yeah, you could just do it, and then after the session, like, oh, by the way, I want the Tavern Brawler feat. Can that count? And 90% of the time,
And you'll be like,
No.
no,
no, fuck you.
you didn't
You
tavern
punched the
brawl
guy.
good enough.
And
Dang.
Joe purposely diffuses the situation so that you don't get the feat.
Yeah, imagine, right?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't tell me ahead of time, because that way I don't know you're trying to get something out of it.
So therefore,
Mhm.
you can accidentally diffuse the situation and cuck us.
I mean, there's a good 70% chance that that's exactly what would happen.
Oh my god.
Oh, I know.
You gotta have a good reason to start a tavern fight, and then I'll lean into it.
Steals, clearly I raid a clothing store to become an adept of the white robes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, just raid a
Not
clothing
sure about
store
that
to get a. I go to a clothing store and I buy a white robe.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Oh, it works, right?
Incredible.
All right. Anything else you guys do tonight before you head to bed?
It is sleep time.
drink more.
Drink more.
Sleep
Oh,
drink.
no.
Yeah.
Plus,
To those that are waking up tomorrow, rip. Unless it's Carter again for like the 3rd time in a row. That'd be
it's possible.
crazy.
No, I gotta do it to Halcyon again.
Imagine.
it's
Imagine
halcyon every
the
single
luck.
time when you get fucking hella wasted. That's what feels bad, man.
Well, going along the improving ourselves way, does anyone have any places or things they'd like to work on in the meantime?
I guess one of the just small things, while like the stories are going on too, it doesn't take too long, but V was gonna do some, what is the like infuse thing that I was just reading on my screen? Magical tinkering. V is going to be putting the cantrip mending on one of the like token things. V's gonna make something
Nice.
for that. Have some of those ready.
Yeah. Are we setting out in the morning, or are we gathering supplies before we do that? Or
Well, we could certainly gather supplies.
So, do we even have like a set spot we would set out to?
there is a spot on the coast that you said there was a manor, right? This place?
Manor.
I mean, let's see. I don't think anybody has specifically pointed out where it is yet, but
Okay.
there is on your map, there is, yes, that is a
We
spot.
know there's a
that is
place on the
map.
coast.
Yeah.
I was saying, weren't you gonna talk with some of the moon people more?
Yeah, I guess.
Toby, do you have the magical trinket item in your inventory?
Good question.
I don't think
feel
you
like
do.
we've done
I
that,
will
but
toss
I
one
don't
in your
think I have
inventory.
it. Yeah.
I put one in your inventory. So.
There
It's
it is.
in the artificer. Actually, you might not have access to it, but I'll put it in the here. That's what I'll do.
So I know Donegal had that, but that wasn't quite when we fully moved over to here. So that was just a little thing to keep on D&D Beyond.
I mean, if we're going to a spooky place, there's likely to be undead.
Ah.
Maybe I can look for some, like, I don't know, some
Holy
sort
water?
of holy water I can coat my or coat someone's weapons with. That actually would be good. When I
Toby.
go to
Sorry, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
when I go back to the temple, I'll probably ask if I could get some holy water.
Cool. Toby, in the magical tinkering
Yep.
feature in your passive abilities, in the text where it says touch a tiny object and the object is linked,
Yeah.
that link you can click and hold that link and drag it into your character sheet and it will populate one of the objects into your inventory automatically.
So that is in, you said features?
Passive abilities rather, the magical tinkering feature.
Got it.
That's
And
the
then-
object. Tiny
And then
object.
object is there. Yep, I see it. Alright.
So you can make, that's infinite number of them. I mean, obviously you can't make an infinite number, but you can put an infinite number of them in your inventory.
Neat. There you go.
Can Vols, so after, I guess, our night in the tavern, the next day, Vols is going to be thinking about the last dungeon, right? And he is going to think about all the times he was opening those doors and going headlong into them without really a care. And he's going to think real long and hard about this. And he's going to seek out V
Ah.
and just be like, "Hey V, you know, I had a thought last night about our time in the last dungeon."
Ah. Thank goodness
And-
it was that and not while you were drinking last night.
And I realized, you know, maybe you were a bit right, and maybe I was too gung-ho at points, and I think I was just a little excited to really be on my first adventure with a group of people, you know? But with that in mind, I was hoping that maybe you could teach me a little bit about how to look out for certain stuff in the dungeons, like traps or doors or anything like that.
Ah. Just how to delve into dungeons more and their intricacies and stuff. I know exactly what you mean. He's gonna kind of put some tools down. Before I set off to adventuring here, I had actually been in a few dungeons before and thought of really studying the designs as well, but I wanted to focus more on my tinkering. However, I do know what you're familiar with saying, so I could definitely help you figure out how traps, though it does vary from dungeon to dungeon, there are patterns for most as commonly used. What's the word I'm looking for? Mechanisms.
Okay.
as we've experienced with a number of the doors with alarms and such, or
Right,
spikes
right.
falling from walls.
From your experience, what's like some of the most common types of traps?
That would be the ones that keep people out. That
Wow.
could be pitfalls, trapped doors, which goes with pitfalls, or trapped doors. So most dungeons are rigged for such a thing.
Makes sense.
As for the specifics, it varies from place to place, depending on what is being protected there or who needs to go through it. There are occasionally dungeons that have blind spots in hallways when you pass through, where goblins or such could be hiding around. I know tunnels are a very common find in dungeons, especially those with maybe natives that have been in it before.
I see. And your little toolkit here, maybe you could give me just a quick rundown of how that works?
Well, we have many of things to work on. In fact, I'm working on making some mechanisms to help with mending my hat, because mending can take a bit more time when I do it myself, so I'm creating little devices to help me. I can maybe just show you how some tools work.
Yeah, that'd be great. And what I'm getting at, audience and DM, is I would like to take the Dungeon Delver feat.
I knew you were gonna say that because V was gonna have that as well at the beginning. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with something else. So I love that. Oh my gosh. I knew
Yeah.
that's what you were getting at.
You can just spend the experience and go ahead and pick that up right now if you want. I don't know if it's in Foundry, but
It's
Oh
6
my
XP, right?
Yeah, 6
yes, it's 6 times
experience.
the number of feats you currently have, so not counting your
Dragon.
Special.
yeah. Dungeon Delver is not currently in there, but I will add it promptly.
Brendan, I am so glad that you came to me for that, because that, oh my gosh.
I'm like, you're the most, like, experienced, I would say, and you're the one that made the most sense to talk to
I
about that.
was going to have that feat, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna change it to, I think, whatever one I have now. So that makes me so happy. It's like, oh,
What one do you have now? Oh, you
that's
mean
a
at the
good
beginning
question.
you were gonna have it?
Yeah, at the like
I see, I
very
see, I see.
beginning, when I was, making V. It's like, oh, that would be neat.
I mean, it's a surprisingly, considering what it used to be, it's a half decent feat now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 6 times however many feats you currently have. So
Yes.
it'd just be 6 times the one I got at the beginning, right?
Yes, because
Not counting the dragon gift.
exactly, because the dragon gift doesn't count.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have the Adepto Cold one now because of
Yes.
the frost thing. But yeah, that dungeon one. You are now the dungeon one, Brendan. And that makes me so happy.
Now you don't have to be solely reliant on the only one, opening stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Nice, yeah, you can go. I'm adding it right now, so. Anything else for anybody tonight?
Does it seem like it?
Sounds like a no. All right. You go ahead and get a good night's sleep. It's just going to be a short rest this time still, but I don't think it matters for somebody. I'm pretty sure you got a long rest not too long ago, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Does that keep going back to
you wake up the next day.
Yay.
All
The
right.
item box sound.
That's a good point. When we go down for breakfast, who's there?
A very neat-looking Elysia is already sitting, reading.
My goodness, how early do you wake up?
Well, I'd like some time for myself before any of you all get up.
True. Now Kurze can bother you. Speak
Hey.
continues walking.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you're right.
Despite how trashed Carter got, she looks totally fine.
Y'all. Joke's on Carter. Alicia's actually better at drinking. Just doesn't know.
She just chooses not to.
Exactly.
No, you see, Carter is an alcoholic. Alicia is the functioning part of the functioning alcoholic.
Even though they're still in Alessa's body.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Alright, hopefully the team got good rest.
Yeah. So, Alicia, were you able to pay attention at all while Carter was listening to the stories? I was upstairs, so I didn't really hear anything.
Yes, I was. Although, being in his mind while he's drunk is kind of just like you're swimming in a pool that's just thrashing back and forth.
Oh,
So, I might not have gotten all of it, but I got what I needed to.
fair enough. Nice. I'm gonna swing by the temple and see if they have any holy water. Since if we're going to a spooky place, there's a good chance there's gonna be undead. I don't have as much money on me, so I'm hoping they'll give it to me for free, because this is a step towards working against the Lolth and Shar worshippers. But never hurts to have any. So can someone with the party fund join me just in case?
The party fund.
Do we even
Party
really have
fund that has
a
not
party
been
fund?
collected. The party fund that we haven't gathered together yet. That party fund. Well, I may not have this party fund that you speak of, but I'd love to see you try to haggle this price.
Dang.
I will also go with, not because I want to see you haggle a price, but I think it would be a good idea to go out and purchase some things before we go.
I was gonna make a stop somewhere.
We can all gather back at this tavern when we're all ready. So
Works for me.
All right. See you in a bit. Let's go.
This is gonna be fun.
All right, Dungeon Delver is also in the system now.
Yay.
So you're going back to the tavern or the temple
The temple, yes.
with V? Is that what I heard?
V and
Alicia.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
is this
not going
going
there
well?
specifically. If we're just kind of separating to go all go buy things, then I probably won't go with you then.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying because I also wanted to go out and buy things.
Okay, gotcha. Then it's just V and Kurze.
Is that okay? You go back to the Temple of Seluna. Very nice day out. Quite pleasant, and the water looks gorgeous. The sea is, you can imagine why people enjoy living here. It's very majestic blue waters, and the waves are, I guess, as long as you're not afraid of the ocean, the waves are very soothing because they crash against the shore. And you make it to the Temple of Seluna. You walk in, and door's always open. And this point in morning, the curtains are back over the windows at the top of the dome. And it's a few different people in a few different spots in the pews praying this morning, as there were yesterday evening. But you recognize several of the priests and priestesses in their similar spots, around the temple doing their morning duties, sweeping and lighting candles and waxing pews, and maybe one talking to somebody, like a patron of some kind, and one is dusting the statue. And are you looking for Lena specifically, or are you just going to talk to whatever priest you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna walk by. I was like, "Morning, Neil." Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm waiting to say that one.
I'll go up to Elena and
Okay.
like, hello.
Oh, hi! You're back again so soon.
Yes. Where I was wondering, since I was gonna go investigate one of those spooky locations to gather some info and maybe see if there's some Shard or Lolth cultists there. I was wondering if you had any holy water or other things that might be effective against undead.
Yes, well, we do certainly always carry holy water. Normally we would charge for it. Are you here to purchase some from us, or are you asking for a gift?
I was thinking that since it would be towards the goal that I could have some as a gift, and if I don't use it, then I can just return it to you once we're back in Amaroth.
Sure. No need to return it. I can go see, like you said, and if you're using this to pursue Lolth cultists, I'm sure we could spare some holy water. We have priests in training who spend some time crafting some, and oftentimes we don't bother selling it to the public because it's not all that potent. But hey, as opposed to just letting it rack up on our shelves, I could get part with a few vials, a few flasks of it. I'll go get some of those flasks of holy water from some of our trainees, and she will go into the mythical back, and come back out, and she's got a little belt, or almost like not like a belt, but just kind of like a strip of leather with a couple vials that are in. It's like little strings are attached to it, and then it's like a cloth pouch, and 3 cloth pouches are hanging from it, which hold the glass flasks of holy water. Just here, 3 flasks of holy water.
Thank you.
And if you're looking in the items and in the adventuring gear and the utility gear, and then you go to holy water, the DC will be it'll only be DC 12. And the damage will be 2d8.
Okay. Under adventuring gear, utility gear, maybe, or
Yep, utility gear.
nice. Okay. You said 3. Okay. Okay, how do I...
As Kurze gets the vials, V is gonna do like a little bow and say, there are those who twist the bodies into undead. We simply wish to put those souls to bed.
Oh wow, you've got a
I kind
poet
of
friend
look
here.
over... I kind of look over to V. I was just like, does she like seem to be taking the piss at something, or
Oh
is this
no,
dead
she's
serious?
very sincere. She has her eyes closed. She's actually still bowing, hand on chest.
I didn't know that you were someone who is, well, quite faithful.
He's gonna kind of get back, standing up straight and just kind of smile.
Huh. Interesting. What was the damage again?
2d8.
2d8. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope you're able to put their souls back to bed quite efficiently.
Dumb question. How do I affect quantity of item?
You should be able to just change the quantity.
Charges, maybe?
If you edit the item, right, where you in the description, quantity 1, right?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
You can just edit it. Yeah.
I was on details. That's what it was. Okay.
Just a few changes like that.
All right. Cool. Oh, and another thing. Since I'm not as well read about Loth, if you could give me is there a certain book you have on her that I could read so that I'm more well informed? I'd like to know who I'm going up against.
We, as V, kind of like goes to put a hand on your shoulder, then like realizes the height and just kind of like puts her hand back.
A book on Loth?
Or maybe gods in general, maybe.
Yeah, we don't really carry any information on the Seldarine. Or the Dark Soul, especially not the Dark Seldarine for that matter.
Do you think the library in town would have something on it?
Probably. I don't know how sophisticated the information would be, but I would be probably a little bit. Yeah, I would expect that they would have some, general book of gods.
I know that there are divine books to be found. We could go there and ask around.
I mean, we have books on gods, mostly to do with Selûne and Shar. But we certainly have information on all the creator gods, and many of the human pantheon.
Technical difficulties by Brennan. His Discord's having problems.
I see that too.
He's trying his best.
I mean, yeah, if there's any specific information you're looking for, I can let you know if we have it. But other than that, the library is certainly a good place to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll probably check out the library since I don't have any super specific things to look into yet. Okay. Anyways.
The library is where we go to find information on our phone.
You said it, Poet V. Anyways. To the library.
V is gonna bow again and then walk out with Kurze.
All right. Yeah. We'll go ahead and head out to the library. Is there anything that Lorn or Seraphine are doing right now?
Yeah, I was also gonna be going out.
Yeah, and I was also gonna be going out too.
Sure.
People
What's
I
up?
going out with their friends.
I was just gonna go find somewhere to like get stuff to work on gear, so like crafting materials and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to find. I mean, with enough time, you would be able to wander around and find the right spot, or if you were able to bring yourself to ask a few people where to go, they're able to point you to. Where are you interested more in?
I'm back, by the way.
I
Hey,
see
sounds
that.
like you're back.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Are you interested in going to like a market where they just kind of sell all sorts of things and probably crafting materials as well, or are you interested in going to like the kind of crafts district where you probably will be able to buy crafting materials and also work on things?
Probably the crafts district, because even if not necessarily gonna work on stuff right now, at least we'll know where it is for the future.
Yeah.
Because if we're more planning on just doing stuff today and then head out, that might not necessarily get a ton of time to work on it. But
Yep. So I will say that the crafting, I guess, district, you might say, is over here. I'll go ahead and type out. There we go. Okay. And you're easily enough able to find. Is there a particular? I mean, not that it matters. It's all crafting materials, but are you looking for specific stuff for your like weapons, or I guess it's all metal for you, huh?
yeah,
So yeah, you're able to find a metal worker of some kind and get some crafting materials from him.
right now I'm gonna get like 250 gold for North, just to end up working on a tier 1 tag of some sort, whether weapon or armor. I'm gonna decide, but
Good. Seraphine, what were you hoping to do?
I was planning to go a little bit outside of town.
Sure.
Find a location that has like just a long straight
Sure.
and
Like
possibly
a road
like
or like an open field?
probably an open field.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, something that probably leads into the forest-ish area.
Sure.
Put like wrap some different leathers slash skins onto the tree itself. Go back 10 feet, wild chip into a deer, and sprint as hard as I can into that tree. Repeat the process multiple times, but also putting weight on top of myself by like stones and shit.
Yeah.
I'm the inconvenient hunter passing by, and there's this wacky deer running into this tree.
There's a purple ass deer just
Yeah.
ramming into this fucking tree.
This is
Yeah.
not the town.
It has rabies. Kill it.
Are you by
You know,
chance
and
attempting to train yourself for the charger route?
maybe, perhaps, who's to say?
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I think he's getting alert.
Say if you're able to spend a few blocks of downtime on that, and so we'll see how long your friends want to stay. Then I will let that count for.
I mean, can we have talked about that before we started out to do things? Because I would not be opposed to spending.
If Seraphine
blocks.
would have talked about that, then Seraphine is welcome to say that she told you all that she was going to do this and wants to stay for a little while. It's up to Jara.
While we're leaving, yeah, I'll probably be like, hey, by the way, I'm doing this.
All right, well, that's not a conversation.
There's a difference between we're leaving and now we're stopping. Or did you say before?
I assume what you meant by when we're leaving is like when we're all leaving to do our own things.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Well,
that's
that's
what I'm
also
at.
what I assume.
You're just like 50
That's-
yards away.
yeah.
You're like, by the way, I'm spending the day in the woods. Don't talk to me.
Okay.
Fuck off! Bloody fuck off!
Hey, Vols,
Oh, yeah?
are you doing anything for a while? I want to try something.
I didn't have any
Oh,
plans currently.
Okay.
What is your plan?
Competitive people watching.
Excuse me.
Is that V?
Elaborate?
That just gone. V, but boom, teleport away, if anything.
It'll make more sense when I explain it later.
Okay.
If you don't
I'm a
want to
bit
play, it's fine.
skeptical.
It's
I'm a
more...
bit skeptical about this, but I trust you.
Bold choice.
When I was back in the dungeon, I was thinking a lot about how I didn't notice things very easily, and and we ended up in some pretty bad situations because of it. So I thought maybe if I was just a little bit more observant, that I'd be able to, I don't know, avoid some arrows, thunking into my chest there.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, I can kind of play a game here. I'll turn around, and I'll pick someone on the... You'll pick someone on the street, and then you kind of point them out to me, and then I have 3 seconds to memorize as much as I can about them. About their appearance, what they're wearing, anything. And then I'll turn around and then do my best to recite it.
Okay. That sounds easy enough. Where do you suggest the best place for this is?
I think Marketplace is busy enough. Something where maybe it might be tough to see someone. There's enough people milling about that, I could possibly be distracted, and it'll allow me to it'll make it hard to focus, which will make it real training.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be for the entire time that I don't know what Seraphine is doing, but it could be long enough that I could make some good progress on that.
Yeah. If it's worth your while, then I'm happy to do it for you.
I greatly appreciate it. All right, and then I will attempt to become more observant.
Good job. You've now.
We should play the
trained
game.
in-
What?
All right. I said we should play the game.
Oh, Yes.
Time to play the game.
Just
It's
post
time
an
to play
image
the
of a random
game.
person and then delete it after a couple seconds.
Yo.
Oh, this is like the game. Oh, you know what? Games are great, by the way.
God damn it.
All right, Kurze. So, first person Vols will point out.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
It's Seraphine. Huh?
Crowd of people.
It's like, where's
Pick a
Rosa?
person, Vols.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Vols will point at the fellow in the black shirt behind the guy in the hat in the front. Go.
Okay, let me. So do I? Let me. Do we have a
5,
timer?
4.
Oh, I'm not even looking. Okay.
Okay. 5,
Guy in the black
4,
shirt.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Delete it. All right, Vols. Here's your.
I'm guessing you meant the one on the right.
I guess you'll find out.
Yeah. Here we
All
go.
right.
Okay, what shirt was he wearing?
Listen,
Time to
Vols.
play the game.
Okay. The man behind the guy in the black shirt on the right, is mostly covered by him. He is He has glasses on, has short, dark hair, and it seems to be holding up his right arm, cupping his mouth to yell out something. He is white.
That is correct.
Ooh, nice. Okay, hold on. Let's get one more.
Okay. This time I'll actually stay in general so that I'll have a better chance to look.
All right, it's great. Okay. All right. Vols, pick a person.
Oh boy. Okay, I am looking at the street sign, and I'm looking at the woman in glasses to the left of it.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, so he is like looking. I think she wore like formal wear, like had a black tie. She had like sunglasses on. And she had dark hair, dark skin, and did I say her hair was in a bun?
Not yet.
Her hair's in a bun.
You are correct.
All right, last one. We'll do one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, maybe I'm glad I'm not doing new feats.
I never knew competitive people watching could be so fun.
All right, Vols, pick a person.
It's like,
Oh boy. Alright. These stock photos are great. Okay. Let's see here.
There's one correct option.
Is there? I see a lot of
It's
really
the guy in the very
interesting.
back wearing the blue facing away from everyone where you can
That's
barely
the
see. See? Yeah,
Oh my
Toby,
gosh.
we
I
know.
saw that and
We
I'm just
know.
like, look at them back
He's like-
there.
He's like isolated because he's like wearing that bright blue shirt, so it's just like he just sticks out.
I'm
Oh,
looking
man.
towards the back left to the guy kind of under the stop here on red signal sign. He looks like he's wearing like a hat of some sort.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. That was the last
Okay.
one.
So it looks to be like one of those like Irishman kind of hats.
Right.
He is wearing mostly black, but I think there's some white on top of his shoulders, so it might be a tracksuit that he's wearing. There's he's also looking to be on the elderly side. He doesn't look to be scowling, but he doesn't seem to be very happy either. He is also probably wearing a backpack or something on his back because there's like these dark lines going across the front of him.
Yeah. I would say that's a pretty good description.
I'm satisfied with that game, Kurze. You can go ahead and spend your experience and get the observant feat.
Yeah! Oh my god, I was stressing it.
How it should be.
Who knew you could do real life people watching in D&D?
Yeah.
And then Matt's like, wait, I was like, wait, I wanted key 9, not observant.
Yeah, right.
I was waiting for you to just post like a bunch of like creatures of different races and stuff like that, like a tavern picture, and be like, "Here you go." Be like, "Oh." I think
Or we
keeping
just
it all human was pretty funny.
bust out Wii Party and play Find Me.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just pull out a Where's Waldo book. I'm like, all right, Matt.
Hey.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Yeah, you choose
hold it up to the
someone
camera.
in Where's Waldo who's not Waldo, and then describe them.
That's mean.
Okay. I don't remember what was going on, but
Where's Waldo now canon in Elrya?
oh, you guys were going to the library, right?
So we can read Where's Waldo.
Seraphine's doing her thing. Lorn, are you good for now, or you want to do something?
I'm good for now.
Okay. Elysia, do you want to do something?
Yeah, I'll already be at the library when whoever's going to the library is at the library.
What are you doing at the library, or do you want to wait for other people to get there?
No, I'll wait until everyone gets there.
Okay, well,
Who's
not
going
everyone
there?
will get there.
To say, it's like, well, you might be
I
waiting.
guess I don't know, Vols. Are you doing something? I forgot to about you. What's up with you, Vols?
Not yet, no.
Oh, he left.
He said.
How much experience again?
Okay,
Six.
6 experience.
Alright.
Yes or no? Say what?
And the bright side, Ethan, you'll have more experience than everybody. You just have one less feet.
We're not gonna go.
Oh.
Okay. Don't worry. When I roll low on my HP, I'll be able to supplement it.
I also have no idea what we're gonna have to do about your feats because you have to pick a different one for me. So
Yeah.
you might have to. It might be complicated for you.
Yeah, I have to do a bunch of different missions.
Yeah.
Oh my
This is the
god.
life.
I mean, they're
There's
turning out to
people
be.
watching.
They're not like mission. They're not like quests, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm hoping, right? It's
Maybe
a
not for
small
these
little
ones, I don't know.
narrative event.
Maybe
Yeah.
I
I mean,
gotta
there
go
could- it
get
could
blessed
be a
by a
quest.
fire giant.
Exactly. That could be more complicated. Vols, are you here again?
Oh, yeah, sorry. My dad popped
You
in.
got something else? Do you have something you want to do?
Do I... Is there... I was gonna say, is there a shipyard, but I'm trying to think, like, would they
There
know...
definitely
how-
is.
Well, yeah, but would they know, like, how to build a ship? I know you mentioned in the last session that's more of a coelacanth thing.
Building
but-
ships is definitely more of a coelacanth thing. There's probably repairs that get done here, but probably not building ships.
Okay. I'm just trying to think, like, maybe I can inquire about, like, materials, like what are good materials for shipbuilding. I don't know if I would be able to find that info here, but
Wood.
You can make an investigation check.
okay. Investigation. Ah, 7.
7.
Fortunately, I only have flat investigation.
Yeah, well, you spend most of your time wandering around the dockyards and just kind of marveling at all the ships and all, the people. going back and forth, hauling things off ships, and passengers getting on, and watching the people do repairs, and seeing the sails blow in the wind, and watching the different, what happens on one side of the bay versus the other side of the bay, and
Just accidentally
you
people
kind of get
watching.
distracted, and you end up you're caught up in the people watching that Kurze got you into, and you forget to ask about ship construction.
That's okay. It was a fun game.
You try to find me in the crowd, and I'm like, dang it, maybe I should have been playing.
But Kurze, V, and Elysia, you meet up at the library.
Mhm.
The library.
Alright, y'all get there, and I'm already there, and I'm talking to kind of receptionist about what it takes to, like, check out a book, and if I can also buy some books. Kind of see what the policy is there.
Yeah, she'll say, well, for checking out a book, that's no problem. We do request kindly that you keep them within city limits, but it is certainly not a problem to request them. You just give us your name and a deposit in case you don't return the book. A deposit of gold. As far as purchases, we generally don't like to sell our books. Kind of the point of it being a library is that we keep our books here. I'd be happy to recommend some of our favorite bookstores in town. We don't have a ton of them, but with the amount of traders that come through, we've got a healthy market of bookstores. I can't guarantee that they'll have the variety of topics that we do, but I suppose, depending on the particular book you wanted to take out and the offer that you are willing to give us, if you make us an offer we can't refuse, then I suppose it's not completely. It does happen every once in a while, and somebody offers us a ridiculous sum of money for a book that we, could reacquire without too much hassle.
Okay. Letting me know.
Mhm.
Also, would I be able to purchase some scribing materials?
Oh, certainly, yes. We do keep plenty of those on hand.
Alright, I will get 100
As well.
golds worth of
Yeah,
that.
so as long as you want to buy less than 1,000, you're probably fine.
Sorry if it took us a bit to get here, Elysia. Kurze was people watching or something.
I was training.
Watching people.
I don't think I knew that you guys were coming here anyways, so... Okay.
So I
figured
heard
you'd be here.
Yeah, heard something about putting a deposit on books. Is the lady still here?
Hmm?
Would you happen to have any books on the Seldarine?
I believe so, yes. I think we do. I think we have a general book on the Seldarine.
Okay, that should be good. I, wanted to know about a little about their history and, the worshippers of, both, the good Seldarine and the dark Seldarine. I'm a follower of Seraphine, so I wanted to look more into it.
Oh, nice, yes. Well, there'll certainly be information on Seraphine. I can't recall off the top of my head if that book contains information on the Dark Seldarine as well. Ooh, and I'm not sure if we have a book on the Dark Seldarine specifically, but many books about the Seldarine do mention Shar at the very least, even if they don't discuss the whole Dark Seldarine pantheon. I mean, Lolth specifically, even if they don't discuss the whole Dark Seldarine pantheon. So.
Okay. That should be good enough then.
Yeah, that'll just be in the religious section. She'll give you the aisle and floor number for that.
All right.
Oh, I think Lorn went there last time. Yeah, it's just that one over there. We can check that out.
Okay, cool.
Guess I can get some library music too.
All right. And if you could point me to a bookstore nearby, and also in here the magic item formula section, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, certainly. Magic item formula section is blah 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 blah. And she'll give you directions to the bookstores as well.
Okay. I'll go to the bookstore first, and then I'll return to look at the magic item stuff.
Okay, I will go ahead and have Kurze and V go ahead and go first. What is it? V, are you looking for anything specific?
No, right now V is just kind of following around, especially since now we're in the religion stuff, and V can kind of, you know, like, hey, what do you got there? And, you know, kind of figuring out his stuff.
Nice. Sure.
So V,
That's me.
this are you actually like follow a certain deity, or are you just really into wordplay right now?
V's gonna kind of like think about that a little bit and be like, oh, no. Back where I'm from, just surviving, you know, was more important than putting my faith in anything other than my friends and my own abilities. That back there was just, sometimes the atmosphere of an area just makes you feel a certain way. Or, well, in my case, you kind of just reflect that.
Oh. So you're kind of like a mirror. You kind of just take in your surroundings and kind of match it a bit.
That's a way to think about it. It's not entirely sure how I am the way I am, but if he's gonna like think for a second, might have to deal with something that I'm a changeling.
Oh. Huh. I mean, you seem to look the same as you always are.
Well, yeah. This is
Like a
about how
changeling,
I've
but only on the
remembered.
inside?
Yeah, that's kind of how I've thought about it. It reminds me of kind of the thing that Elysia and they've got going on. But it's definitely not the same. I was actually gonna follow them along, but I realized that since I skipped out on being here last time with Lorn, I'd stay here to try to figure things out a little bit more.
Huh. Well, I mean, keep me posted. That seems like a very perplexing condition. Maybe we could help you out with it, or,
I'll be right back, by the way.
All good. When you mention condition, V's just gonna like kind of like frown a bit and be
Oh.
like, well, I wouldn't say it's not a bad thing that needs help.
Oh, sorry, I just kind of assumed. But, you know what they say about assuming.
What do they say about assuming?
Makes an
Always
asset of
do
you
it.
and me.
I heard a voice from beyond. That was a pretty good one. I liked its energy, but there you go.
Okay. Well,
Wait, have I never mentioned that to the group?
I don't believe you have.
Ah, that sounds right. Well,
You want
I
to mention it?
definitely have overlooked that, and that could probably describe my inactivities and bit of quirks that have happened in the dungeon before.
Interesting.
That's weird. I just always assumed with talking with everyone and interacting, it was just a thing everyone kind of knew. Or maybe it's just because Elysia has it and the rest of them, that it's just like, oh, huh.
That's true. So, wait, is it like Alessa's condition or I'm sorry, is it like Alessa's situation and where, the you have like other parts of you that are kind of witnessing things from inside your mind?
Nope. I
No.
wouldn't say it's like that. After all, the personalities that they have is definitely quite different to the situational stuff that happen around with me.
Situation. Hmm. So, yeah, I guess you're um I guess whenever you change with the atmosphere, um does it feel like, certain aspects of your emotions are suppressed or amplified?
If he's gonna like think for a second. No. Kind of just feels normal to me. I mean, every time I've talked to you, Crits, it's been fairly feeling normal. It's not like I necessarily change. It's just kind of, going around doing what I do.
If only we could change that part of the atmosphere. Oh, okay,
And you're telling me I've never mentioned this to the group before.
No, you haven't. You remember everything very clearly, right? There's no gaps in your memory because of certain changes?
Well, there was this one time in the dungeon. I opened up one of the coffins, and I couldn't really remember anything for the next, 5 minutes or so. But, other than that, I mean, everything's been pretty solid, and I guess I've always felt natural with the group. I just always assumed it was brought up.
The time with the coffins, it'll take a couple seconds for it to click. And then just Kurze will just get the idea and then hold on just a sec. I need to go to the washroom. I just go inside.
Alright, Kurze, I'll just be looking at some books here.
I kind of whip around like, what?
Yeah, and then V's gonna just pick up one about the stars or something. Just okay, that's neat. Starts walking away.
Kurze's just gonna walk into the bathroom and just go, what the fuck?
The person next to you just washing your hands whoa! incredible.
It's like she's hardwired to cause me the most grief. Good day to you, sir.
Reminds me of my wife.
Nah.
We walk back out. It's like a little. It's like I probably like splash some water on my face to just like distract myself and walk out and just I'm probably just dripping.
Oh, dripping to see me. My goodness.
He drippy with it.
Yo.
Alright, just needed to wake up a little bit more. Didn't need to stay alert.
He closes the book. Is that one of the feats that you're working on? I mean, did you find the book you were looking for?
No, I'm still looking for that. All right. Yeah, okay. It's funny how different libraries are compared to forests. It's a little too uniform for my taste, but it has its own charm, I suppose.
You could say that they're still both made out of trees, though.
But let's not get too distracted and miss the forest for the trees. And I'll go over and find the book on the Seldarine in the religion section.
Make an investigation or a religion check once you find the book to see if you can find the information you're looking for.
Matt, which role are you feeling?
That's a good question. Probably religion, because that is the one I have advantage in.
Ah. I cannot help you. Good luck.
Could I give myself guidance on this? I haven't rolled yet.
Yeah, you good?
Alright, cool.
It's like V asks, like, oh, how are you planning on finding the book? And he's like, with the power of religion. It's just like, okay, I can't help you.
Power of God and anime.
Guidance himself.
Yeah.
15.
15. Okay. What information specifically are you looking for?
Looking
anything.
for any if I'm obviously, they said there's nothing straight on the Dark Seldarine, so maybe things about how the history of, the interactions of Sehanin with Lolth and her forces.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, you're looking through, and you certainly. Oh my god. You certainly are able to find information on that in this book. And it's a lot of vagaries, a lot of similar, frankly, stories that you've read in your past that are fantastical, yeah. They give you the vibe of kind of a fiction story in a lot of ways. But what you do find is the general gist of a story of a ancient conflict between Seraphine and Wolf. You find a story of a time when Lolth was actually one of the Seldaring. She was one of the actually one of the greatest gods of the Seldarine. Coralon Litharian, the head of the pantheon, she was second only to him. And for a time, she was, beloved among the elves, the book says. But eventually, something caused her to change, and she attempted to betray Coralon. And it was only by the intervention of Seraphine that Lolth's plans were stopped. And because of that, because of Seraphine's interventions, Lolth was cast down and cursed into the form that she was now. And Seraphine took her place as the number 2 god of the Seldarine. And ever since then, there has been a deep hatred between Seraphine and Lolth. On Seraphine's side, because Lolth is seen as a traitor who attempted to betray the head god of their pantheon. On Lolth's side, because Seraphine ruined her plan and cast her down and then stole her spot. And there's not a ton of information as to the specifics of what went on, or why, or what exactly, what does it mean for Seraphine, or for Lolth to have been cursed into the form she is now, or what does it mean for her to be cast into the Dark Seldarine, or what all that's about. But that's the general story that's told in this book.
Just kind of under my breath, just kind of thinking aloud, just like, I wonder if Seraphine wouldn't know anything about them. Does it sound, from the description of the Seldarine, how are they related to, like, the Feywild, if at all?
You spend some time reading through, and after you read the story, you kind of go back to the beginning and see if there's kind of like a summary of the source of the Feywild, or source of the Seldarine, and their connection with the Feywild. And it does go into that, and it does just kind of describe the way that in an odd way, the way the book puts it basically is that the Feywild was kind of like almost a beta test of the material plane from the Seldarine. The elven gods were instrumental in the creation of the Feywild, and it's why the Feywild is the way it is compared to the material plane. Is it doesn't have the creation magics of all of the other gods who were instrumental in making the material plane involved in the Feywild. It was just the elven gods who crafted it. In time, before there was a material plane, there was actually basically a predecessor to what was the Feywild. And it's not exactly like the Feywild existed before the material plane, but while there was kind of fiddling going on in what would become the inner planes, one of the first things to be created was that. And it was the elven gods who kind of basically started up the idea of that kind of a thing.
And so, as far as like order of events, did the Feywild exist before or after this betrayal? Or attempted betrayal, rather?
The Feywild was... Let me see. There's not an exact set of timelines, but I would say you get the sense that this betrayal happened after at least some sort of creation was begun.
Okay.
It's unclear to you if that means like the predecessor Feywild or the actual full-on material plane or what, but...
Okay. Yeah, and I guess... So I'm led to believe that, Summer Court... Is there a Summer Court?
Yeah.
Okay, am I led to believe that Summer Court is subservient to the Seldarine?
There's not information about that specifically in this book.
Okay. I'll ask
So.
Seraphine about it later. Maybe she knows.
What do you think Seraphine's doing?
Probably getting some, maybe some jerky for the journey.
Maybe like a bit of hunting or something before?
Yeah, that seems right. Cuts over to...
Having like a cart with like 4 different guys on it, they're like talking, and it's just like ramming in, and then like another one comes by and it's like, oh hey, join on! Incredible stuff.
I have to be right back one more time. Sorry, this Thai food I had for dinner is ruining me.
Oh no.
Fair.
Oh boy.
No, actually, that's what Seraphine's doing. What do you think, like, Lorn is doing right now? He's the mysterious one, really, of the group. He could be already gathering information, going around, or what do you think he's doing?
According to Discord, he was watching Noragami 4 minutes ago.
That's
Okay.
just not true.
Okay, Discord.
Cut to Lorn and he's just
That
like
might be
dancing
my
in a
brother
club.
because he uses my Crunchyroll account.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though. It's like, oh, he's gathering information. No, he's gathering materials. I bet he's already making his way, sitting at home just watching anime.
Lorn would do that, right?
I bet
Yeah.
that Lorn is somewhere, maybe he found like a certain contact, he did his own investigating and now he's interrogating him in an alleyway.
Okay. I kind of picture that, especially after what's his name? The guy that we didn't kill and he kind of just left out of there. Yeah, that
Bailiff,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, Bale. Yeah, him. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being the case. Oh, and you
Meanwhile,
kind of
Lorn,
just
shopping.
yeah, shopping. Gonna buy some stuff for the tags. Very nice. He's just got like a bunch of bags full of supplies, carrying them, you know. And then we left Vols to fend for himself at like one of the docks or something around the square.
Maybe he's just fishing?
Fishing? Could be. He could be fishing. I don't think we've actually seen him. Oh, no, I have cooked fish before, but I think that was because of Seraphine.
Isn't it true?
It's true.
I'm
Say
not
I
there,
am.
but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, no, I remember. That was one of the things. I was doing some cooking. I had to be pretty direct with that one. Asking Seraphine to borrow some of the fish they caught. That was a while ago. This was back before we actually got started on our mission. Some good times.
I think Vols would just be walking around some more. Kind of just explore the city. Maybe if he got really bored, he'd go fishing.
There it is. And then we know that Elysia is checking out bookstores. They're looking for something to buy. Do you think they've made it there already? I know you've been looking at the books for some
never
time.
know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, we can't know. The DM's not here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I get exactly what I want for free.
Oh yeah, you can make a good price, exactly.
Alicia now owns the library.
The library, ooh. Okay.
I'm not even there, but I own it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yam's not here. I get to level 20 and I take over the world.
Oh, but that's not fun though. That's like going in creative and getting like diamond blocks or netherite. It's like, come on, you gotta have something.
You know what?
the
Let's get
world.
crazy.
Also,
I'm now level 1.
I was like, also bold of you to assume that you just being level 20 will let you take over the world.
I
Yeah.
attempt to take over the world.
Also, if you take over the world, you have to run the world, because that sounds like a lot of
Oh,
responsibility.
There you go.
Fair points, fair points.
See?
I was just trying to think of the fastest, like, power, power grab.
Oh,
God.
actually, speaking of oh god, just instead of like take over the world, just like put yourself on like the Pantheon or something. Because you don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
there
do
you go.
anything. Like people will pray to you and stuff like that. Just be like, nah, I mean, I'm just
You
kind
just
of by
exist.
title, you know.
I'll
Yeah,
become
have
the
to worry.
god of boats.
There you go.
Not even ships, just boats.
Just boats. I'm literally the king of red lions.
Oh my god.
You don't even like use this power to
Become
make
a
yourself
boat.
a ship anymore.
Yeah. I don't build the boat, I become the boat.
Man, polymorph's gotten crazy over the years.
It sounds more like a curse.
Person boat.
The warlock patron that is an Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
I get the tiny house spell, and it's just flavored to be a boat.
Hey, boat house, you know.
Yeah, boathouse.
The only difference is that your boathouse can go on water and it will have a swim speed.
Yeah.
Act of the Etcha.
Imagine if you could have a boat tiny hut.
Dude, fine steed, but it's a canoe.
Ooh.
It's a canoe.
Everyone knows that canoes are in fact steeds.
Yeah. I hear my canoe
A
make
canoe
noises
with
all the
legs.
time.
When I
They
hit
sound like
those rocks.
rushing water. Yeah.
Yeah, well, canoes make noises, and horses make noises. So, things are the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know why, but for some
And
reason,
everyone knows canoes are made of horses, so.
Oh my god, yeah.
Whoa.
That's how we do it. Oh god, we just like slaughter horses and then just make the most like
You said you
Yo,
wanted a bullet
flesh
falls.
canoe.
Yo, a horse transformer,
Wait, guys, we do
but he
have
turns
those
into the
horses.
canoe.
We do indeed have
Oh
horses.
no.
Of horses. I'm somewhat of a tinkerer.
Somewhat of a
We have
tinkerer myself.
We have a couple people who have been on boats, know some boat stuff, probably proficient in boat. Guys, we have
Who's
someone that can
proficient
be
in
a
boat?
horse.
Someone got leatherworking tools?
Dude, we can make this happen.
I have proficiency in leatherworking tools, but I do not have those.
Yo,
I have
we can-
weaver's
fashion.
tools. I can make like cloth seats or something.
Yo, we
Nice.
using its bones and flesh, we'll make a boat out of a horse and call it Seabiscuit.
There you
Aww.
Now, I'm really curious if Joseph took his headphones with him and is hearing all this, or he's just gonna come back and be like, what the fuck happened?
Either way he comes back, we're just gonna have to like repeat the and then we'll take the flesh and the bones of the horse, make it a canoe, and call it Seabiscuit. We have to like repeat that.
Yes.
As
Alright,
soon
you
as he
better
puts,
hurry up,
and
though.
then
Brendan's gonna wake up tomorrow, so you know.
I know.
Yeah.
wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Hey, wake up.
I guess that means we need to make sure that we hurry up too.
Note to self: don't get Thai food today.
On a D&D day.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
Okay.
way.
Matt, you're up. You're ready.
Okay. So, yeah, that's right. We're gonna take the bones and flesh of a horse, turn it into a boat, and we'll call it Seabiscuit.
There we go. Ah, perfect. Then we've got our canoe.
All right.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Yes. I'm at war right now.
We
Yeah.
got that.
Jeez.
That's one way to put it.
Did you hear any of our conversation?
No, I took my earbuds out. It required very hard concentration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
okay.
they've fallen, it's just kind of game
Straight.
over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you know a horse can be a canoe?
Did you know
I
horses
believe it.
are canoes?
I'm sure.
All
We've
right.
already made plans. I guess
Yeah,
I'll
we're gonna make it
repeat it one
happen.
more time. So we're gonna take the flesh and bones of a horse, turn it into a boat, and call it Seabiscuit.
Wow. That's
We've got
beautiful.
a lot of people who are proficient with like leatherworking tools and stuff like that. We have people who are proficient in boat. Hopefully, they're very boat people, and we have someone that can be a horse. So we've kind of got everything. The thumbs up.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Thumbs up.
Hey.
That was great.
That means
Thank
he
you,
approves.
Discord. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And we have horses.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think we're done here, so Elysia can
Okay,
buy her
Elysia.
stuff.
All right. I got my bookstore. Do I need to roll still?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Dang it! I rolled a natural 2.
Okay. Yeah, you don't find any of the books you're looking
Well, that's a
for.
total of 12.
You find one of the books you're looking for.
Yay!
It's 25 gold.
Okay, I'll buy it.
I like the contemplation after he said it was a 12.
Yeah, I mean it's a funny number, but still pretty good.
Yeah? Isn't
That
bad?
expertise, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
So 25?
Yep.
Okie doke. And then I'll spend the rest of the day, since apparently we have the day, just doing some research on magic item formulas for a bag of holding.
It's an uncommon item.
It sure is.
Yeah. You
How
can just.
How many blocks are we doing?
That's a good question. Are you guys going to spend the day here?
How many blocks does Seraphine need? The full day?
I would say she needs, a full day.
And how many would I have at this point? Would I have used a block in the day doing all this stuff already?
You haven't really done anything else.
It's
I don't
true.
think it takes a block to buy a book at the bookstore. So I'd say no. You have the full day at your disposal for
Yippee.
research.
All right, so that's 3 blocks. And wait, are we? We're not gonna depart at night, right? So we're just gonna spend the rest of the day and depart tomorrow.
That's fine with me.
I would guess so.
Sure.
Because I could sleep in 4 hours, so I might just get another one here. I think I can. Let me just make sure
I believe you
I
can.
do that right. I can. All right. Well, I guess I'll go back to say hi to everyone, but then immediately go back to the library. How is the library open? I guess I should probably say.
Library is open, like, closes for like 4 hours from midnight to 4 a.m.
Easy enough. Well, I will get 4 blocks then total. So I'll do some rolls. I know the DC, but and it's investigation, so it might be Bing chilling. Oh, I can do Arcana too.
Oh, ancient.
All right.
Oh,
I would say, Seraphine, you go ahead.
Venturing?
I think the charger feat might already be in here. Yeah, charger feat's in here.
Let's go.
I will go ahead and make sure. I'll update the picture real quick, but
Oof, I failed
Can.
one of them.
spend your, of course you did,
Sounds
your
like you.
experience points, and go ahead and add the charger feat.
But I beat one of them by 10. Is it add? No, it's just 5 by more. So I get
And V,
5 blocks.
you can go ahead and have an experience for your experience at the temple and for going with Kurze to the library. And it's not an experience, inspiration. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that's what I defaulted it to.
Yeah. Anything else for anybody for the day?
I guess also work on my, potentially work on stuff at the workshop.
Sure.
If
Yeah. You
I don't know
can.
what
You'll
I'm-
have a day's worth of blocks, so you can work that out. Whatever.
I'll say I'll figure out what I'm gonna
Yeah.
exactly do on what, but
You can also
Just
think
so-
about if there's anything that you can do towards a feat that you would
Yeah,
want to spend
exactly.
blocks on.
yeah.
I know earlier I inquired about like building a boat, but
Mhm.
I was also wondering maybe if I could find out how much it would be to purchase a boat, or like what the market value for a boat would be.
You can definitely find that out. Let me see if there is information on that I can give you.
I like to believe.
Are you thinking like a... Hold on. Let me... How was that? Okay, this is a... okay, probably don't want a galley. You're thinking kind of basically like a starter ship, or like a full...
I guess
big
maybe
boy
for
ship?
like, yeah, I think maybe for the short term, like a starter ship. But like, if I'm thinking long term, I want to build like a large, like full ship that I can take around the world.
Well, a basic sailing ship, typically, MSRP is approximately 10,000 gold.
Ooh, okay.
And a more big boy ship that can kind of survive the waters of more continental sailings and is more durable to, pirates and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be closer to 25k.
Okay. So maybe I'll like see these prices and just start thinking like, what can I do to maybe earn some other ways of income? And I'll think back to the plushie I made my mother when we were back in Rest Haven. I'm like, maybe I could start making more of those.
Yeah.
So I guess I can work using the rest of my blocks and making more plushies. And then
Yeah, I'll say that between people watching with Kurze and failing to do your investigation check, that's 1 block, but
okay.
you can have the rest of the day to do whatever, until you work on your plushie.
Yeah.
If you don't already have crafting materials, you can easily buy them.
I don't remember. I'll just buy some just in case, just to have extra.
Yeah. Anything else for you, V? Or Kurze, I guess?
No. First, what I'm thinking, nothing too much. Just kind of going around, maybe jumping from person to person. If I come across them, going on with them, slipping away.
Sure.
And that is-
Cool. Well, with that, you all spend 1 additional day in Emaroth buying things and training yourself up and crafting and doing some more research. And I don't remember what I said the cost was. Let's hopefully remember for next time, but you spend 1 more night at the tavern, and you wake up in the morning of the 28th, presumably ready to set out. I don't know that you still technically haven't, had somebody point out on the map where it is. So maybe 1 more task to do, unless you're going to try to just wing it and go to the one spot and hope that's it. But other than that, I think that'll be it for tonight.
Alrighty.
Sometimes you just wing it.
Oh.
You probably won't, but sometimes you do.
Do we level up?
You do not level up.
Ah.
Hey, you got experience point, plus you got your feet. Very pleased with the way that you
Small
decided to go
inspiration.
acquiring your feats.
The minigame was fun.
Yeah. Quick, impromptu minigame, always gotta love it.